Imagine building a home far away from land, surrounded by nothing but open water in every direction. At first, it may sound calm and beautiful, almost like a dream. However, when you think deeper, living in the middle of the ocean for months at a time feels more like a movie idea than a realistic plan. Yet for thousands of people, this is not fiction at all. Sailors and naval personnel spend most of the year living at sea, calling massive warships their temporary homes. These floating cities operate non-stop, often far from shore under demanding conditions. This reality raises some serious and fascinating questions. How many people can an aircraft carrier actually hold? How are food supplies managed for such a large population? Where do sailors sleep? And how is daily life organized in such limited space? Among all these questions, one topic often sparks unexpected curiosity: sanitation. When thousands of individuals live together on a ship for several months, hygiene becomes a critical concern. From restrooms to waste systems, everything must function efficiently without fail. Naturally, people wonder how many restrooms exist on an aircraft carrier and how they are managed. What happens to the waste generated daily? Is it processed on board or handled in a different way? Most importantly, how is cleanliness maintained in an environment where space is limited and operations never stop? These are practical questions, not strange ones. Life at sea demands strict systems, advanced technology, and constant monitoring to ensure health and safety for everyone on board. Every detail, no matter how small it may seem, plays an important role. The curiosity around this topic is understandable, and that's exactly why we're here. In this report, we'll break down everything you need to know about sanitation and facilities on an aircraft carrier. We'll keep it clear, informative, and straight to the point, since many viewers come with one main question in. To understand the scale, consider this. A modern aircraft carrier can accommodate more than 6,000 sailors on a single deployment. That's roughly the population of 2 small towns combined, all living under one massive steel structure that stretches over 1,090 feet long. With so many people on board, essential needs such as food, water, sleeping quarters, and hygiene facilities are not optional. They are absolute necessities. The ship is designed to support long-term living, ensuring that daily routines continue smoothly even while operating in the middle of the ocean. In the following sections, we'll explore how these systems work together to support life at sea, and how something as simple as sanitation becomes a carefully engineered operation aboard one of the most powerful naval vessels in the world. So, when people ask the obvious question, the answer may come as a surprise. Large aircraft carriers are equipped with roughly 430 to 450 restroom units in total. At first glance, that number may feel low, especially when you consider that several thousand adult personnel live on board at the same time. However, when operating far from land, space efficiency becomes a top priority, and every facility is carefully planned. Living in the middle of the ocean means making the most of limited room and resources. Ships are designed to balance comfort with function, ensuring that essential services work smoothly without wasting valuable space. Once that question is addressed, it naturally leads to another important topic: what actually happens after these facilities are used. To explain that, a bit of background is helpful. In naval culture, restrooms are commonly referred to by a unique term: the head. While the name may sound unusual, it comes from long-standing maritime tradition rather than humor. Historically, only ship captains had private facilities located near their living quarters toward the rear of the vessel. Crew members, on the other hand, used shared restrooms placed at the front of the ship, much closer to the waterline. This location allowed natural seawater movement to assist with the removal process, using the ship's motion itself as part of the system. There is also a practical reason behind restroom placement. Ships typically move into the wind, meaning any airflow naturally travels from front to back. By positioning facilities downwind, ships prevented lingering odors and maintained better air quality across living areas. Modern naval engineering has significantly changed this setup. Today's aircraft carriers are fitted with advanced storage tanks and powered pumping systems. These upgrades allow restrooms to be installed almost anywhere on board, without relying on ocean movement or ship direction to function properly. However, this does not mean waste is handled casually. Even with modern systems, nothing is released without careful processing. Each flush activates a complex, multi-step operation designed to meet strict safety and environmental standards. The material moves through specialized treatment systems where it is filtered, processed, and prepared according to regulations before any final disposal occurs. This entire process requires advanced equipment, constant monitoring, and significant investment to ensure safety and cleanliness at sea. In short, what seems like a simple daily routine actually triggers a highly controlled and technical operation. It reflects how even the smallest aspects of life aboard an aircraft carrier are supported by detailed planning, advanced technology, and strict discipline, ensuring smooth operations during long deployments far from land. If you want, I can. Managing wastewater aboard an aircraft carrier is one of the most critical responsibilities at sea. Because it is produced constantly and cannot be stored for long periods, it demands careful handling and strict oversight. Sanitary safety is a top concern, which is why this material must be. On naval vessels, wastewater is categorized into different types. The first category is commonly known as black water, which refers to material collected from restroom systems. The second category is gray water, which includes used water from sinks, showers, laundry areas, and kitchens. Another type, known as bilge water, must be handled separately. This water collects in lower compartments of the ship and may contain oils and residues from machinery. Releasing it untreated would pose serious risks to marine life, which is why it is processed through specialized systems before disposal. When black water enters the ship's integrated treatment system, it first passes through an aeration chamber, often called a bioreactor. This chamber contains naturally occurring microorganisms that break down organic material dissolved in the water, beginning the purification process. Next, the treated water is sent through a membrane filtration system. This stage removes additional particles and impurities, further improving water quality. Once filtered, the mixture moves into a settling chamber, where remaining solids separate naturally from the liquid. After sedimentation, the process continues into a clarification compartment. This section is specially designed with angled surfaces that guide residual material downward. The design prevents buildup and ensures smooth flow through the system without blockages or overflow. Each stage plays a vital role in ensuring that the final output meets environmental standards. What begins as routine daily use is transformed through advanced engineering into a carefully controlled process, highlighting how modern aircraft carriers function not just as military platforms, but as fully self-sustaining communities at sea. From there, the remaining untreated material that settles at the bottom of the sedimentation tank is not ignored. Instead, it is redirected back into the biofilter reactor through the suction system. This step allows microorganisms to break it down once more, ensuring maximum treatment before the process moves forward. If you think the journey ends here, it does not. The next major stage takes place in the air supply system. The biofilter reactor is supported by 2 air blowers, one active and one on standby. These units release controlled air bubbles that help microorganisms function efficiently, while also assisting in moving remaining material through the system. The airflow plays multiple roles at once. It supports biological activity, helps transfer settled material from the sedimentation tank, and delivers oxygen to the activated carbon chamber. Each movement is carefully controlled to maintain balance and efficiency throughout the treatment cycle. Before the treated water can leave the ship, it must pass through the discharge pump system. These pumps are installed in pairs for reliability and are located in the final section of the treatment facility. Built to resist blockages, they're powered by electric motors and monitored closely during operation. Automatic level sensors inside the sterilization tanks control when these pumps activate. While most operations run automatically, manual control is used during maintenance or cleaning procedures to safely remove residual material from the tanks. At this stage, the water has undergone extensive treatment. Harmful bacteria and contaminants have been removed, making it safe for controlled release. However, it is not discharged immediately. Instead, it is temporarily stored in holding tanks to ensure compliance with environmental and operational guidelines. Gray water, which comes from sinks, showers, and kitchen areas, usually requires less treatment. Once processed, it is released far from shore in accordance with regulations, ensuring minimal impact on the marine environment. Despite these advanced systems, aircraft carriers still face challenges. Restroom blockages occur more frequently than they do in homes. This happens because onboard systems rely on narrow piping and controlled flow, making them less forgiving when items do not pass through as intended. When a blockage occurs, the process stops entirely, creating serious inconvenience for crew members. To reduce these issues, newer aircraft carriers are equipped with upgraded restroom systems designed to improve flow and reduce maintenance demands. In addition, the ship's wastewater network undergoes periodic deep cleaning using highly specialized equipment. These cleaning operations can be extremely expensive, sometimes costing hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they are necessary to keep the system functioning reliably. According to a recent congressional audit reviewing long-term naval maintenance costs, unexpected issues with newer systems have contributed to rising expenses. The Senate Armed Services Committee requested further analysis from the Government Accountability Office, which highlighted frequent maintenance needs related to restroom infrastructure.